welcome to City Journal. I'm here with Mayor Schertzer, and I'm Trevon Mosier. So we're going to start out with, what about the yard waste and the leaf collection in Marion?
Well, yeah, this is the time of the year where the leaves are falling off the trees, and we do a leaf collection program in the city of Marion. We've done it for dozens of years now. But it's important to let the viewers know that we're going to stop doing that service for the season on December the 6th. So you only have a couple more weeks to get your leaves raked to the curb. And always remember, when we do this, we don't want you to put the leaves in the curb and gutter. We want you to take them right to the edge of the curb and gutter and keep them out of the streets. The curb and gutter is actually designed for storm water and to move it away from your property. And if you put the leaves in the gutters, it's going to dam it up and prevent those from the water getting into where it needs to go, and could cause problems on your personal property. So that's why we ask you not to put your yard waste or the leaves actually into the gutter. Now, December 6th, again, is the last day this year that we will be doing yard waste and leaf collection. We will pick up yard waste later in the spring. Now, if you don't want to wait on our vacuum trucks to come around and pick up the leaves, that's perfectly fine. You can always take those leaves to Outdoor Resource Supply on Barks Road. You may not recognize the new company, Outdoor Resource Supply. That's the old Park Enterprise on Barks Road, where city residents can take their yard waste and their leaves at no charge to you. But you are going to have proof that you live in the city. So I would suggest taking your city utility bill, your driver's license, or another bill that has your address showing that you live in the city of Marion, so you're not charged for taking your yard waste there. And so that is how we handle yard waste collection and leaf collection in the city of Marion. You may know that we had a couple inches of snow just a few weeks ago, actually less than that. And that kind of put us behind on our yard leaf collection. So if you do not get them all done by the 6th, we are going to still have one single truck out vacuuming up leaves. And remember, it's not an on-demand service. You can't just rake your leaves to the curb, call us, and expect us to come get them the very next day. We have 3 trucks out in the city right now, and we will have 3 trucks out until December the 6th. But after that, we have to go down to 1 truck, because we have to take our resources and our manpower and start getting ready for snow removal and ice removal, because that's the time of the season that we're moving into right now. So let me ask you, Trayvon, have you raked your leaves to the curb yet?
I have not raked my leaves to the curb yet.
So
I don't really have any trees near, in my yard, so
you don't have to worry about that in your yard.
No.
But other folks out there are going to be concerned about when we stop the service for the season, and it is December the 6th. But again, we'll still have 1 truck out there. You may have to call the city garage and let them know that we didn't get your leaves before December the 6th. But we'll be able to come get them after that.
All right, so after December 6th, and they still have leaves in their yard, would they have to take them?
Well, they can take them themselves to Outdoor Resource Supply, or they can call us, and we'll put you on a list, and we'll come get them shortly after that. But it's going to take us a little bit more time after December the 6th, because, again, we're going to go from 3 trucks right now down to 1 truck that is picking up leaves in the city of Marion. Now, maybe you've seen those trucks before. It's kind of like a giant vacuum cleaner, and they come along and they sweep those leaves right out of your tree lawn, and then we cart them away to one of our city parks and mulch them up.
All right, so a little bit off topic, but I was looking for a job, and I've kind of found it hard to find. I was wondering, how the economy of Marion was doing.
You know, that's not unusual. I have heard from a lot of young people that it is difficult for them to find a job in the Marion community. And to me, that's kind of amazing because you see help wanted signs all over the city of Marion. It's fast food, it's retail, it's commercial, all kinds of jobs that are out there. And we still see those help wanted signs. Even our biggest employers in the city of Marion are constantly looking for new employees to work in their facilities. Here's the thing about the economy in Marion. Out of 88 counties in Ohio, we rank 25th as far as the lowest unemployment. And here's an area where you want to have low unemployment. We have a 3.9% unemployment rate right now. We average 5%. 3.9% is the lowest unemployment rate that Marion County has seen in more than 50 years. So that means if you want a job, you're probably working. If you're looking for a job, there are plenty of jobs out there for you. Again, I know our biggest employers are hiring. I've talked to folks at Wyandotte Snack Foods, Silverline Windows, Whirlpool Corporation. All these places are hiring, but what they're looking for is somebody that has the soft skills and they're ready to go to work. You have to be able to come to work, have reliable transportation, be able to pass a drug screen test, and also get along with your coworkers. Those are some of the things that we consider soft skills when you're out looking for a job. So I understand that you did get a job finally, but it took you a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, it took me, I'd say about 3, maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah. So job experience is also very important when it comes to a low unemployment rate. This is probably his first job that he's ever had out in the private sector. And so they're also looking for what job experiences do you have. So if you're a high school student right now, the more job experience that you can get to prove yourself, to put on your resume or to put on a job application is going to be beneficial to you in the long run. You know, we just did a big rally in downtown Marion, Drug-Free Hire Me. The local employers are looking for that certificate as well because they want to know that you are a drug-free employee, and that also translates into a good employee for their company. So they're looking for the best employees that they can find in the Marion community. So again, the unemployment rate is at a phenomenal rate right now, the lowest in more than 50 years. The city of Marion, the city government that is, we're always looking for transit drivers. We do prefer that you have a commercial driver's license, but it's not always required. These are part-time jobs right now with the Marion Area Transit, but many times those part-time jobs can turn into a full-time job. So you don't have a commercial driver's license, so you probably would not have the skills necessary to apply for a job with Marion Area Transit. But it's something for the viewers to think about out there. The more skill sets that you have, the better opportunity that you're going to have to get a better job and the kind of job that you might want to do.
All right, so being in school, we have Thanksgiving weekend off. What about the hours for City Hall?
Yeah, I think when you look at City Hall hours around a major holiday like Thanksgiving, the thing that I tell most people is if you think that you're going to need or require the services in city government, the best thing for you to do is to call ahead first, because some of our departments will be open and some of them will be closed, and depending upon the day. Obviously, all of City Hall and many of our departments are going to be closed on Thanksgiving Day, except for the police and fire department, which are considered essential services. They're open 24/7, 365. So when you look at your trash pickup, there will be no sanitation, no trash pickup on Thanksgiving Day, but they will pick up the trash the day after Thanksgiving, November the 29th, which is a Friday. So close Thanksgiving for trash, get your trash out on Friday if your normal pickup day is on a Thursday. In our transit department, there will be no public transportation in Marion on November 28th and November 29th. So that's Thanksgiving Day and then the day after Thanksgiving, and then they'll return to normal hours on December the 2nd, the following Monday. Marion Area Senior Center, they will be closed on Thursday and Friday also, and open up for regular hours on December 2nd, the following Monday. However, Friday, on the November 29th, they will provide senior transportation for those in need of dialysis and major medical appointments. So the social transportation that the senior center does will not be operating, but for medical, pre-scheduled medical appointments the following Friday of Thanksgiving, they will be operational. So again, with all that information, the best thing to do is, if you frequent the Marion Senior Center, you should call first. If you think that you're going to need the services of Marion Area Transit, call ahead first. We don't want anybody outside waiting on a bus and the buses aren't running the Friday after Thanksgiving. All other departments are going to close early on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So City Hall will close down about 1:30 on Wednesday the 27th. So you need to get in and pay your utility bill early that day if that's something that you need to do, or if you have other things that you need from city government, such as the engineering office, the auditor's office, the law director's office, are all going to be closing, including the mayor's office, about 1:30 the day before Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, thank you for coming here on City Journal. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back to City Journal. I'm Trevon Mosier here with Mayor Schertzer. So we talked a little about Thanksgiving. So the next big holiday coming up is Christmas. How is the community dealing with that?
Sure. You know, every year we do what we consider the official kickoff of the Christmas season, which is always the first Saturday of December. This year it is December the 7th. And we do that by starting with the peanut push. I don't know. Have you ever been to the peanut push before?
I have not even heard of it.
You've never heard of the peanut push? Well, you're going to have to come downtown Marion on December the 7th, which is a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. What we're going to do this year is the same thing we did last year. We're going to block off that section of Main Street in between Church and Center Street, so there'll be no traffic on there. And the peanut push is a fundraiser for Christmas Clearinghouse. And so you pay an entry fee to get into the peanut push, and it's just like a race, except for you get down on your hands and knees and you push a peanut across the street with your nose. So it takes a lot of skill and a lot of talent to push a peanut across the street in Marion, Ohio. But if you want to see the mayor of your community do it, I've been doing the peanut push for almost 25 years now. And lots of community people come out. I know the superintendent of the Marion City Schools. I see a lot of coaches here at Harding will come out. Coach Slater did it a couple years ago. And just community-minded people will come out for this fundraiser called the Peanut Push, hosted by iHeartRadio and WMRN. So it'll be live on the radio. And actually, you guys in Harding Telecom, you'll come down and broadcast it many times. And so you'll be down there, I hope, this year. And maybe you can actually enter yourself into the peanut push. Do you think you could handle pushing a peanut across the street with your nose?
I could probably do it.
You
I'd
could
probably
probably
be the best.
Okay, the best.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you do get a trophy or a plaque for the top 3 finishers in there. So if you ever come to my office, I'll show you all the plaques and trophies that I've gotten from the Peanut Push.
I wouldn't expect one for this year.
So that starts on December the 7th at 10 a.m. And then right after the Peanut Push, or shortly after the Peanut Push, we will do the Christmas parade starting at noon. And that's generally going to be on Center Street. I think there's going to be a lot of activities in that area of Main Street that we're going to block off. But the parade will happen at noon. And we'll have a good time with the parade. I will tell you this, last year the weather got so bad that they canceled the parade, but the Peanut Push will go on rain, sleet, or snow. I've done it in the rain, I've done it in the sleet, and I've done it in the snow before because it's for a good cause, raising money for the Christmas Clearinghouse.
So around the city, I've been seeing a lot of construction. What are the projects and things that are going on?
Well, now that we're moving into what we call winter months, the construction season really trails off right now. But we've got 2 major sewer projects. One we've just started, and another one we're going to start about January 2nd. And it's kind of hard to do these sewer projects in the winter months, but they're going to do as much as they can as weather permits. The one that they've started on right now is on Euler Avenue near Indiana. That one will continue all winter, weather permitting, and they'll finish it up sometime midsummer. The other sewer project is on Park Street, which will start about January 2nd. That also will not be finished until sometime mid to late summer. So those are the 2 big construction projects that we have going on at this point in time. But we're also preparing for snow and ice season. Last month when I was on, we talked about how we're getting our snow plows ready. We're making sure that we have an ample salt supply to put down on the city streets. And after all, we've already had our first measurable snowfall this year, and we had it much earlier than we ever anticipated. So we don't know what the winter has in store for us, but we're going to have 8 trucks. That's more trucks than the city of Marion has ever been able to put out on the city streets, removing snow and ice. And again, we have plenty of salt at this stage of the game in the city salt shed. So we're ready for snow and ice. We're ready for these sewer projects, and we'll get started on them. Another thing about our city streets, we did get all of our city streets resurfaced that we had scheduled this year. And that was a good thing because we were getting late in the season to do those. And that paving project depends upon how the ground temperature is and the air temperature is. And we're at a point now, like I said, where it's hard to do certain types of construction projects. We're also moving forward with a big project out at the wastewater treatment plant. Of course, most people will never see that, but that's over a $3 million improvement to the wastewater treatment plant, which we think is going to help us here inside the city when it comes to flooding streets in the future. So big projects taking place, and then first of the year we'll talk about some projects that we have planned for 2020.
All right, so we just had an election,
Mm-hmm.
and I was wondering what are some of the new city councilor members and some of the city auditors?
Yeah, great question, because this year, as a result of the municipal elections, we're looking at 5 of 9 new members on city council. That's the most that I've ever seen in my involvement in municipal government. So with these 5 new members, there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. They're going to have to learn policies and procedures on city council, Robert's Rules of Orders. They're going to have to do new committee assignments. So all of that will take place on January 1st when the new city government is sworn into office. So that's open to the public. Usually about noon on New Year's Day, that's our first council meeting. And all the city council members, all 9 of them, plus the council president, the mayor, the law director, and the new auditor will all be sworn in. And then we'll have our first council meeting shortly after that, where there's usually only one item on the agenda, and that's the approval of the 2020 budget, which we're preparing right now to take to council on December the 2nd. So with this new council, there's going to be that learning curve that I talked about. They all ran for office and they all won this last election on November the 5th. So we're going to see a lot of new people, a lot of new faces in your city government coming up. We've got some experience, and then we've got some learning curve that we have to work on.
All right, I think that pretty much does it for now. We'll be back with a short break. Thank you for being here on City Council.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Haven't seen you around before. Are you new in the neighborhood?
Yeah. Haven't you heard about the new state law on yard waste bags?
No, I guess not.
Well, if yard waste is set out by the curb for pickup, state law requires residents to use a compostable bag, like me, or a large paper bag, or a hauler-provided cart. Plastic bags like you are now banned from curbside pickup. This is the other new bag in the neighborhood.
Hi guys, what's shaking?
Hey there, welcome.
Welcome back to City Journal. I'm here with Mayor Schartzer, and I'm Trevon Mosier. I was wondering what we can expect from you as being mayor again.
Yeah, after an election like we just had, and we talked about it in the last segment, usually we kind of lay out some agenda items that we'd like to accomplish in the first year and into the next term of a new administration. One of the things that we are really going to work on is what we call the Environmental Codes Division. We have Officer Casey Thomas of the Marion City Police Department who's been doing this since March with some great success stories throughout the community. And we want to continue that success. He has helped remove over 500 abandoned cars out of private property in the Marion community. We want him to continue that. He's also worked with the Marion Public Health Department to have over 5,500 abandoned tires removed from our community. So building on the success of Casey, what we'd like to see happen moving forward is add another police officer to help Casey do what he does. And the reason that we use a Marion City police officer is because if they write you a ticket for any of these violations, they have to be dealt with by the Marion City Law Director's office, and sometimes they have to be dealt with in the municipal court. So that's why we're seeing such great success when we're using police officers. So adding another police officer to that. Also, we have a seasonal crew that goes out and mows lawns in the winter or in the summertime of abandoned properties. We'd like to extend their hours into the fall and start them earlier in the spring so they can help do some additional cleanups on some properties that we're having challenges with in the Marion community. This is an effort to kind of just clean up the community in general and looking at private property issues, adjudicating them in the courts, following due process of the law. And Casey has the ability to write a ticket if they do not comply with what they want him to do as far as city codes go. So city code enforcement, but Casey often calls it city compliance. We want people to comply with what Casey is asking them to do. And so far, he's getting about 80% of those that he's working with to clean up some of these junk houses. He's getting 80% compliance. So that means he's only writing about 20% in tickets for those who do not work with him. And that's a good thing because it makes the whole town look better when we pick up the trash that lives in our community. So that's one thing that we can expect. Another thing on the agenda list is start to work with downtown. I don't know if you've been downtown lately, but there's a lot of construction that's taking place. We've actually had to put barricades up to prevent people walking on sidewalks because there's so much construction going on downtown. The city government wants to be able to work with these building owners to help them fix up their buildings. That's why we've applied for 2 grants, each for $250,000 to assist with the renovations of downtown properties. Now, those are competitive grants, so we don't know for sure if we're going to get that $500,000 to help with these projects, but working with these downtown building owners is something that the city should be doing, because as they fix them up, new businesses go in there, that brings more people downtown, and that is how you keep the economic engine of your community in downtown Marion rolling along. In addition to the downtown grants, we're also going to work on hiring new firefighters. I mentioned last month how the city got a grant to hire 6 new firefighters, but we're also going to be replacing almost 6 retiring firefighters. So in the first quarter of next year, we're going to hire 12 firefighters. 6 of them are net new, and then 6 of them will replace those that are retiring. So our workforce in the fire department is going to get a lot younger. We're also making a significant improvements to the firehouse. It's 107 years old and not getting any younger. We got a $500,000 grant to do some work on the old firehouse, where we really keep most of these firefighters when they're on the job. So along with that, we have a major project going on out at the Marion Municipal Airport with a new airport terminal. This will be the first time since I think 1953 that we're going to get a new airport terminal. And we hope to have that airport terminal open sometime in the fall of 2020. They've already got the footer and they've got the steel already delivered. They're waiting on the permits from the state of Ohio so they can start the construction of the new airport terminal. So there are 4 things that you can look forward to in 2020 and then building through my next term in office.
All right, well, that'll pretty much wrap it up. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next month on City Journal.